Over the past 300 years, the generation of women that have come before me fought for my right to marry a man outside my race, advocated for my right to vote, and protested in the battle for civil rights, and continues to do so each year, all the way to the steps of the Lincoln Memorial. Over the years, Black women performers have been wanting to enter a space of acceptance, but what happens when you enter that space? Are you really accepted, or are you exoticized? It seems like there's a duality. Your entertainment is accepted, but is your identity? What's interesting about these scenes is that though identity was so bound up in the cultural performance, Black femininity and womanhood was never truly accepted.
Yes, I taught you that, me and your daddy. But I thought I taught you something else too. I thought I taught you to love him. Love him? There's nothing left to love. There's always something left to love. Have you cried for that boy today? Now, I don't mean for yourself and for the family.
We often worry about and
I mean for him and what he's
concern
gone
ourselves
through.
with the Black male role.
God help him.
Whether it's society, whether it's
help him what it's done to him.
But have we really cried and concerned ourselves with the issues concerning the Black
to love somebody the most? When he's done good and made things easy for everybody. No, that ain't the time at all. It's when he's at his lowest. And he can't believe in himself because the world's done whipped him so. When you starts measuring somebody, measure 'em right, child. Measure 'em right. You make sure that you done taken into account the hills and the valleys he's come through to get to wherever he is.
You understand the context of these videos. It's hard to watch because Oprah doesn't become rich or she doesn't become well known because of her concerns for racial or cultural or sexuality issues, but she becomes more accepted and more revered because of book reviews and talk shows with the cast of Friends and visits by Tom Cruise.
Recently, I was in a shopping mall out in the southern suburbs, and as I went up to the counter, I didn't think that I looked. He's in the building!
First of all, thanks for coming to my Legends Ball with Katie. Was that the best? Fun? Was that? Yes, yes! What has happened to you?
This scene is also interesting because it explores the question of where does the Black woman domestic fit? Does her role, or is her role, served best in maintaining culture, white culture, but forgetting her own? Or is it both?
I have told you that she can always tell a lady but the way that she eats in front of folks like a bird. And I ain't aiming for you to go to Mr. John Wilkins's and eat like a field hand and gobble like a hog.
This brother here, myself, all of us were born with our hair like this, and we just wear it like this.
This clip by Black Panther Kathleen Cleaver, now law professor of Emory Law School and Yale Law School, is a cultural response because it shows that there's an outlet for women of color, that there's a space for blacks to respond to sexism that's different than white women.
And so black women would try everything they could, straighten their hair and lighten their skin to look as much like white women. But this has changed because black people are aware, and white people are aware of it too, because white people now want natural wigs. They want wigs like this. Dig it? Isn't it beautiful? All right.
Black is beautiful.
Bring her!
Said I want it free.
Let me tell you something, Melvin.
Mrs. Huxtable isn't standing for herself in the same way that we
You see, I'm
normally
not
learn
serving
sexism
Dr.
to be.
Huxtable.
She's
Okay?
operating in a
That's
different
the kind of
way,
thing
in a
that goes on
culture.
in a
She's a
restaurant.
cultural tenant, and you're
Now, I'm
seeing
gonna
Mrs.
bring
Huxtable
him a cup of
respond in
coffee
that
just like
way.
he brought me a
Bill
cup of coffee
Cosby
this
in this
morning.
scene
And
has
that,
seen
young
this
man,
before.
is
Alvin
what
serves
marriage
as
is made
the
of.
white
It's give
viewer.
and take,
His
50-50.
response
And you don't get it
is as
together
if it's
and drop these
individualism,
natural
but
attitudes,
it's
you never
really,
gonna have
he's
anybody
responding
doing
to a
anything
white
anywhere in the
sociologist's
time
classical
possible.
way of understanding sexism. Mrs. Huxtable is showing that there's an outlet for responding to sexism that's partially cultural programming. She's, again, like Kathleen Cleaver, is giving a way for black women to respond to sexism that's different than white women.
I'm really especially happy
It's
that I'm
unfortunate.
chosen.
Sometimes
present
we have
this
to call on our
particular plaque.
allies to say what we want to
To me
say
it seems
but can't say.
more than
And once they
just
say
a
it,
plaque of gold.
it's heard.
It opens the doors of this room, moves back the walls, and enables us to embrace the whole of America. An America that we love. An America that, almost alone in the world today, recognizes and pays tribute to those who give of their best, regardless of creed, race, or color. It is with the knowledge that this entire nation will stand and salute the presentation of this plaque that I present the Academy Award for the best performance of an actress in supporting roles during 1939.
than me.
A lot of people don't think Halle Berry is a good actress, but if you listen to her speech is, for some, is the best performance that she's ever done. Seems like she understands the cultural weight of her performance, of her achievement. She understands that she will hold a trophy that many women that do understand culture and performance will never will.
You know, when from the beginning, being a colored, then Negro, then black, then African American child, growing up in Mississippi, my prayer was, for as long as I can remember, God, use me, use this life. I don't know what the future holds for me, but I know that there is a vision for my life that is greater than my imagination can hold. Use me. What would you have me to do? And that dream, that desire, that prayer brought me somehow to television. And to be able to use this tremendous vehicle of television to go into people's homes and somehow be able to touch their lives and to be the beacon that Barbara was for me, to be a light of hope and understanding, to share some sense of illumination that maybe sometimes reflects people's lives and sometimes opens them up to themselves, is the greatest blessing God could have given me.
In each instance, from Mammy to Halle Berry, women of color have reappropriated their roles in American society for the betterment of other people they would never meet or nation they themselves would never experience, but one whose promise they believed in, the United States of America. To put it simply, these women brought a sense of mission for this country that they carried forward in their own lives. These women bring to America what they have guaranteed for me: promise, hope, possibility, and opportunity. They are America.
You may write me down in history with your bitter, twisted lies. You may trod me in the very dirt, but still like dust, I'll rise. Does my sassiness upset you? Why are you beset with gloom just 'cause I walk as if I have oil wells pumping in my living room? Just like suns and like moons, with the certainty of tides, just like hope springing high, still I rise. Did you want to see me broken? Bowed head and lowered eyes, shoulders falling down like teardrops, weakened by my soulful cries. Does my sassiness upset you? Don't take it so hard just 'cause I laugh. As if I have gold mines digging in my own backyard. You can shoot me with your words. You can cut me with your lies. You can kill me with your hatefulness. But just like life, I'll rise. Does my sexiness offend you? Oh, does it come as a surprise that I dance? As if I have diamonds at the meeting of my thighs. Out of the huts of history's shame I rise. Up from a past rooted in pain I rise. A black ocean leaping and wide, welling and swelling, I bear in the tide. Leaving behind nights of terror and fear, I rise. Into a daybreak miraculously clear, I rise. Bringing the gifts that my ancestors gave. I am the hope and the dream of the slave. And so, naturally, there I go rising.